Okay, it's Thursday morning. We have Joe and John there with Cell Ready, and they'll be doing the work, and they'll be getting us a quote here. And then we have Jenny McKenna, who you will be meeting tonight at 6 p.m.
Yes, on Skype, I believe.
Yes, unless you're going to India.
No, I'm not. So we are at 1712 La Cruz,
Gotcha.
and I'm going to walk you through the property and give you my opinion of what needs to be done cosmetically to make sure that we get you the best rent we can.
Please comment on the garage.
Okay, so on the garage door, when you'll actually see it better from inside the garage, but you're going to notice that it doesn't lay flush. So there was a concern that maybe something was wrong with the concrete foundation. I don't think that's the case. The house has been here for 30 years. If there was any big issue, it would have already presented itself. So what I think happened is it was just maybe not a very good job done by the builder. It's not going to affect our garage door. If we ever have to replace this, seems like this is going to be just fine. It's a standard garage door. So I don't think that's an issue. Cosmetically, not so pretty when you're inside, but again, a tenant's not going to care about that. Landscaping is great because we don't have any true maintenance in the front yard. I would like you to look a little bit to our left. We have a house that's just not being maintained very well. It will affect us when we go to rent, so I have taken that into consideration when we've given you the rent value. But our property seems to look great. We have new outside exterior paint. We have some new flooring that's in here. We'll start here first in the living room. New blinds on the windows, brand new carpet. So this is what we're going to consider the formal living room area. We're going to walk through here to the formal the family room. This one is cosmetic. I did show it to Joe. I'm really not going to worry about that until something gets more drastic. If that piece falls off, if this crack right here ends up coming off, then we may have to do something around the face of the fireplace. I will not blame the tenants if this gets worse. Okay, so this will be something we document, and then we can go on from there. But I don't think many people care too much about it as long as the pieces aren't coming off the wall. This window here does need to get replaced, so Joe's giving you a bid on that.
You want to do the backyard and the drape?
Yeah, the drape's fine. I mean, normally you would have some kind of blinds on this. I don't think that's necessary in this house because you can just take these drapes, close them over. They're great. They're easy. Moms are going to love it because they don't have to deal with the kids coming in and pulling down everything. So I think these are fine. Through the tenants, if this gets really gross and we don't want to wash them, you're talking about maybe $40. We just go down, we buy a new set, and we just take it from there. So no, not a big deal. The backyard has grass, and normally I am not for grass on a rental because we all know a tenant is never going to take care of grass. However, this is like Bermuda grass or crabgrass or the grass that we have in Vegas that goes dormant during the winter. It will actually show green in the summer, and it's really hard to kill. So my suggestion would be, since I think this is going to be rented to a family anyways, we like our kids having soft stuff outside. Why don't we just let them see, being they the tenants, let the tenants deal with the grass. We're not going to put a landscaper on it. If it gets completely out of control, we'll clean it up when they move out at their expense. If we ever wanted to upgrade this backyard, my suggestion would be is to take the patio out larger, and then you would just rock the majority of it, maybe put a couple trees so that you got some growth on the trees, rock, and then the extended patio.
Block wall.
Block wall. You'll see it more when we get up into the master bedroom balcony. But notice your wall, the very top layer of brick is not attached. It is just laying there. So if I have a teenage kid that goes up and wants to look over that wall and that brick comes tumbling down on me, we could have some issues. So that is a shared wall. My suggestion is going to be is that we leave the layer of brick there so you have a little bit more height. I like that, but it does need to get reattached. So Eric's going to talk to the neighbors, since it is a shared wall, figure out what needs to happen in order to get that one layer of bricks secure. So that takes care of the backyard and our wall. Here we come into what would be considered a dining room or breakfast nook. This is vinyl flooring. So this is very inexpensive vinyl floor. In fact, you can even see how it's starting to come up. It gets easily sliced. There's not going to be a long life for this floor. However, it looks really good right now, so we'll utilize it for as long as we can. That's the same concept of these countertops. So these are from mica. They're dated. There's a couple chips around if you look at it. When the time comes and we want to upgrade the kitchen, we would want to upgrade the flooring to a ceramic tile, either in a plank format or the real squares. And then we would want to add granite to the top. And then because they've already painted the existing cabinets, we would just continue to paint them to keep them freshened up. So you're looking at countertops, flooring, and then above you, we would be also upgrading a light fixture there and a light fixture here when we did the remodel.
Not today.
Not today. Not necessary today because it still looks good, it looks fresh, and it's going to attract a good tenant. When it starts looking rough, then that's when we want to come in and do that. This right here does need to be addressed now. This is what we call an apartment fridge. Now, an apartment fridge would be fine in a 2-bedroom property because you figure it's only going to be 2 people living in the property, tops 3. In this case, you have a 4-bedroom house that is going to have children. My gut says it probably will. This needs to be a bigger fridge. So I suggest that we just put this fridge out in the garage, let that be the extra fridge, as is, of course. If this fridge ever to die, we don't replace it. But we do put in a nice white double drawer bigger fridge. I think that that would appeal to the kitchen, and it would appeal to anybody that's going to be coming in here with children.
What's your guess on a price for one of these?
I think you can get those for sure between $800 and $900, $950 tops. It's under $1,000, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's definitely under $1,000. And with the sales that are going to be going on around the holiday time, I got to imagine we can get, because we don't care what brand, we just want the size that makes it look good in here, just as long as it's white and the size. This is your half. One other thing I want to show you. When we do the remodel, whenever that is, things like this, believe it or not, really show up when you've cleaned everything else up. So doorknobs would be another issue that we would want to take through the whole house on a rehab.
I don't know if you could see it on the video, but some of the doorknobs are beaten up.
They are. And as we walk through, I'll try and point to it so that you can see it. To give you a perfect example, they have actually redone this doorknob. So this would be kind of the concept that we would want to go throughout the entire house when the time is appropriate. So this is just your half bath. There's really nothing in here that I need to be worried about. This actually is nice to have on this house. Having a formal dining room area is a really good thing when you're going to have a family situation. So this is going to help us appeal as far as the floor plan is concerned. This is the original ceramic tile. Not a big fan. When the time comes and we decide to do the ceramic where all this vinyl is, it would definitely make sense to come through here and then take that same tile all the way through the entry.
Is that light okay?
That light's perfect. Yeah, fine.
Okay.
They've actually added that light to match some of the doorknob features. I like that light, so it's fine.
I'm so glad you do this. I have earned a reputation, and I think it's well deserved for having zero taste.
So this is the master. One of the things that I really like about this floor plan and this master is notice your ceilings. So this isn't a real big room, but it feels bigger because you've got the sliding glass door that goes out to the balcony, and you have these really nice vaulted ceilings. So good. This is a very good plus to this particular house. This is your little window seat, which everybody loves because it's different. So these are the little things that are going to help us get this property rented. Definitely need to do whatever we need to do to clean this up.
There's this film that's just gone bad, and this film which is going to go bad.
And this film here that I don't like at all. And we have a very, very inexpensive kind of slider here that needs to make sure it gets locked.
Let's see if there's anything out here, except for the blocks. Basic plan is to cement these in, and I'm going to go see the neighbor, probably not today, and ask him to, 1, they can take it down, or 2, we'll cement it up.
You see, without that tint on it, I just want to see how much brighter this room is, just in that aspect. So once we get these windows taken care of without the tint, this room is just going to brighten up so much more. It's going to be... So we want to appeal to masters. See, and I can't get this to lock, so somewhere along the line this has got to get locked because we don't want that to
Yeah.
be an issue. In here, there was a minor thing where these are not semi-gloss. We do need these to be painted semi-gloss so they last a little longer. Couple issues that need to be handled with drainage of the sinks. Other than that, notice how they did a rehab on the shower tub. Love this enclosure. So that's going to help keep water from coming out onto here. Again, we've got the inexpensive vinyl. We'll leave that for as long as we can. Another closet. So this is closet number 2 in the bathroom. I also love this natural light that is in here too. So that this is a nice setup. For the size, this is a really good use of space. And then we'll go down the hallway. This is where the rest of the rooms are going to be. Really nothing to do in any of these rooms. You've got your closet here, you've got your room here with a window. It's pretty much about the same all the way down. So that's why I think it's going to appeal to somebody that's got children, because they're going to put their children in here and each child's going to have their own room and they're going to be happy campers for years on end.
The inspector called out the floor squeaks. What is your position on floor squeaks and stopping tenants from renting?
Okay, so this is your floor squeak right here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get used to it.
Okay.
It's just one of those things. Yeah, we don't like it, right? But you just, as you live in the house, it becomes something that you don't even hear anymore.
But it's not going to hurt rental?
Not at all. Not at all. That would not be something that they would say no to. So one of the things here is you've got your washer dryer upstairs, and I don't see a pan.
I don't know if there's a drain, but we're planning on putting a pan under there, even if there's not a drain.
Okay, I just want to try and make sure that at least amount of problems with water upstairs as possible. These look pretty good, so that's great. One of the things that is a negative is these stupid bifold doors.
You hate those doors every time.
I know, but you can't do anything about them. When you put it up here, that's just the way it is, so we'll just be replacing the bifolds as life happens. In here, I didn't see anything other than in the bathtub, we've got a couple chips. I've got a company that will come in and resurface that. It is not a permanent fix. When they do the surface chips, they're going to make it look great. And then as people continue to use the bathtub, whatever it is that they use ultimately comes off.
How long have you had enough experience and how long it lasts?
My last one was, the longest I've had is 3 years, and it's still good. So they may not use the bathtub as much, so that depends on usage. But so far, 3 years and going, and it still looks good. There is a couple little things that I wanted Joe to come in here and just put a little bit of caulking in all those things so that we don't have any water intrusion anywhere. Good news again, because of the age of the property, if there was any problems, real problems, we would have already seen it. So nice to know that we don't have to necessarily deal with that. Again, beat up doorknobs. Here's a room in here. Again, closet, window, pretty standard.
You would not repaint?
No. This is the sterile white. This is what I call hospital white. When the time comes and this ends up getting dirty and we need to do a full repaint, what we're going to want to do is we're going to put a little bit of color on it, that biscotti, which is a really light tan. That way we'll let the baseboards pop with the white, the door frames all pop, closet doors pop, and then the popcorn ceiling will stay white. Right now, this is fine.
Okay.
I mean, it's great. They just painted it, so we don't want to touch it. Let's use other people's money for as long as we can.
Okay, anything else?
This is interesting. This is a little area where people can store their suitcases, their Christmas tree stuff. So it actually turns out pretty good. What I don't ever want this to be is a kid's fort. So I would put down there on the lease that they can only use this for storage. That way, if there's any issue, it's no liability to you or to me. And other than that, I mean, it's a really good house. Now, the market says that we could be somewhere between $14,000 and $14,500. There is one that rented at $14.50. There's one that's rented at $13.75. The exact same model in the exact same neighborhood. My gut says that if we try and go much higher than 14, it's going to sit on the market for a while. And we may not get a good quality tenant, as if we just went and kind of accepted 14 as that mark. Now, we can always try $14.25 for 10 days or so. And then if we're getting action, great. If we're not getting action, then I think you got to make sure that you're budgeted somewhere around that 14.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right, thank you so much.
No problem.